Hope everyone is fine with the blessing of Almighty Allah. Our today topics is the reason of government fall during the quota movement, presented by Abir Hossain, ID 20, batch 57. Course title Computing Concepts, course code 147.4, presented by MS Nazia Nishat ma'am. As we can see, our first point is abstract. Abstract is the quota movement emerging in the late 20th century in response to socio-economic disparity. So, to address the underrepresentation of magazine group in government and education, I found that a combination of governments, lack of active dialogue and failure implement equality political participate the government downfall. The finding highlight the critical importance of responsiveness and inclusivity in governments. Second step, intro. The quota movement emerged as significant social political phenomenon aimed at addressing system inequality through represent and opportunity to marginalized group. Organizing from demand for effective action, the government highlight the various aspects including social justice, political mobilization, and the clash between tradition and modernity. My interest in this topic stems from its profound implement for governance and the social equality, as it reveals how addressed grievance can lead to whisper unrest and the government instability. Aim to explore the factors that contribute to the government fall during this movement, focusing on the public dissatisfaction, political mismanagement, and the response from the various stakeholders. To conclude this research, I will analyze the historical text, protest narratives, government political, and the contemporary media converge to gain a comprehensive understanding of the dynamic at play. Through this investigation, I hope to uncover insight into the importance of response governments and the impact of social environment on the political structure. After we can see the review of exciting research. Research on the quota movement in Bangladesh highlights several critical factors contributing to the government fall. For instance, Islam examined the impact of youth-led protest. Conversely, Chowdhury emphasized the government mismanagement and the failure to engage with the public demand, leading to significant erosion of trust in the political institution. Article underscored the interesting of social activism and the social accountability, suggests that the movement was not merely a reaction to quota but broad call from reform. Together, these studies illustrate the multiple nature of the movement and the implement of our governments in Bangladesh. And here are the reference. First one is Chaudhary governance and second is Islam. Then we shifted to next slide, gaps and my question. The study of the quota movement reveals several gaps in understanding the precise factor that led to the government's fall. Here the key point need to explore. And we can see there are 6 key points, and this 6 is my question. After that, by investigation this question, I am to gain comprehensive understanding to the factor that the participate their governments collapse during the quota movement. Next is methodology. To explore the reason behind the government instability during the quota movement, I created a survey question with both close in question to get statistical data and open in question to gain personal insight. Data was collected using the online survey and share on the social media and in-person interview with students and active who participate in the movement. Challenge include low response rate due to the sensitivity nature of the topics, as some respondents were hesitant to share their view openly. Time constraint also limited the same size, affecting the diversity of perspectives. Despite these obstacles, the data collected provide valuable insight into public sentiments and political pressure experienced during the moment. Finally, come to the result. I will analyze the survey data based on the people response. First we talk about the summarize, then other side is the chart. The figure on the graph chart shows the effect does the fall of the government had on the people. In the chart we get 20 people response for everyone start feel independent. In this time some people begin to love coordination, other people respond to loving opposite and worried about the economic. These two are same. In this type people are few in thinking. In the second chart, why government quota become a barrier government job. The figure number 2, the chart illustrates why government become a barrier to the government job. In this chart, we can see the highlights, response, and the chatting discrimination without giving value to merit. Then the topics got the most response are creating discrimination between the Hindu and Muslim, and then last two topics are equal. This type matter is not very important, so that the percentage of this too low. Discussion. When comparing my finding these two other students on the quota movement impact on the government stability, several similarities and different emergent like the people various research, my finding indicate a high level of political dissatisfaction among students allied with study as the collection that you discount the significant pressure the governments. Both my study and my study B also found that the social played a critical role the mobilization and the spreading information creating board based on the public support for the government. However, unlike study B, which imagines the economic factor, the primary reason for the government stability in my finding suggests that dissatisfaction with government's transparency and the accountability was the more influence factor, while all students agree on the government insignificant impact on public opinion. My results suggest that the public motivation rather than my purely economic concern were the central public frustration during the this period. Then we shifted to the conclusion. In conclusion, the graph revealed notable increase in the public dissatisfaction and loss of trust in governments during the quota movement. Participate among young people. This trend underscored the importance of responsive governments as a failure to address pressing public demands such as fair employment opportunity and the transparency can destabilize political structure for Bangladesh 2.0. This signifies as need a prioritized reform that directly addresses the concern of the youth to foster a more inclusive and the resilient governance model. Engaging young people in the policy making and improving accountable could be helped build a stronger social contract. Overall, the finding highlight the Bangladesh 2.0 must adapt to citizen demand to prevent failure movement from the escalating into border instability. In last slide, I shared the reference in APA form. The first paper title is The Fall of Rise of Metropolitan Government in the Copenhagen. In the APA format also there. In the second paper title is The Rise and the Government Fall of the Change in the Kurdistan region of Iraq. In the second paper APA form also given there. Okay, thank you for listening me. Hope you will like it. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.